Peace and blessings. We are Discovery of Self, and today we are doing a video on reflections. So we're basically reflecting on like what has been going on in our lives for the past few weeks. And I am Kareem, and I am today. I'm being joined by Anav and Aaron, and so our topic of today is reflections. We're basically going to reflect on like what has been going on in our lives, and like what we see to improve or change, and then if you can take the stand.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna start us off, Kareem. Okay. So I'm Enaf, as Kareem said, and thank you for joining Discover Yourself. So I guess we decided on reflection, or I kind of came with the idea just to kind of let everyone know how we're progressing. What kind of things are we finding out about ourselves as a result of joining, twice a month among spirits. So for me, I guess the greatest news is that I'm going to become a student again. I'll be going to Massachusetts next month to pursue my degree in dance movement therapy, which has been a lifelong journey to get there. So I'm excited, more excited than nervous or anything, because this is my third time in college. So if you don't get it by now, then you never get it. So that's the biggest news. I'm really excited how the group is going. We're getting a lot of guests, and I personally I look forward to joining with my peoples here. So I love how it's going. I love the flow. So that's a good thing, something to look forward to. And since our last interview, which was like almost a month ago, I think I feel like I'm getting a little bit more comfortable in having a little bit of me come out. I tend to joke with my friends that I'm like the loud, bubbly one. And then I'm laughing all the time. So, I don't know. That may or may annoy some folks, but that's just me. That's my natural side. So, I don't see any other news, any updates. I'm just looking forward to grow and learn from us and from the interview guests that we get. So, I'm excited about that, for them to kind of open our eyes to different things. I'm excited to hopefully have viewers kind of be a part of our live session. So that's how far I've come so far. So I can only imagine greater things in the future. So yeah, yep.
Okay, now our other guest, Aaron, do you want to chime in?
Sure. So I guess what I just need to talk about recent changes.
Yeah,
So with me lately, I felt myself make a lot of progress. Before, for a little while, I felt kind of stagnant. I kind of lost the zest that I had for life, and I was kind of questioning why it was happening, and I didn't understand. I wanted to get back to feeling the way I used to feel when I first started getting into like spirituality and stuff. I remember I just felt so amazing, and as of lately, it kind of just faded. And I was asking myself, well, hold on, asking myself what happened to it. Hold on.
okay. I guess I can touch upon some stuff. A lot has been, well, not really. A lot has been going on for me, and at the same time, a lot hasn't. I'm on summer vacation right now, and I'm taking one college course, and I've been watching a lot of videos, especially by Lennon Honor. Like I guess his he did a recent video called I think "You Must Be the Mate." Something about, like, I guess society has made us believe that if we want to find a mate, that we must go out there and date. And he made a video refuting that, saying that if you want to find a mate, you have to be the mate. You have to be the mate that you want, I guess. And so you have through purifying yourself, through improving upon yourself, through improving upon your thoughts, your action, your words. That is how you become the quote unquote, I guess, perfect mate. And you don't. It's not that you're going out and try to find a mate. You attract one, and through this, that you attract one. So this got me thinking about some things, and also. Lennon and his wife Aida, they did a couple of videos for premium members on transcending the cycle of child abuse, and they also did 2 videos on poverty consciousness. And that got me thinking a lot. Yeah, it got me thinking a lot about, like, I guess, the childhood traumas that I've been through, the things that, even like the smallest little things, that can have a huge impact. Like I can say that procrastination, which has been a problem for me for many years, and even though, like, I coasted through high school and I'm coasting through college right now, and I do things at the last minute, but I still managed to get good grades. But it's definitely been a problem for me. Like, I guess there are a lot of goals that I've set over the years that I haven't achieved because of that. And that's something that I'm really trying to focus on. And that is procrastination. And Nav, would you like to take the stand? Like,
Yeah.
I guess, let me ask you, like, do you have a problem with procrastination? Like, have you struggled with it over the years? What are your thoughts?
No, I've always been very organized um, in everything. Like I said, I think that's like the student in me. I've always been very uh, ahead of of time. Like I've never put things off that are really important. You know, I've always been, even in my relationships, I've always been the one to handle the bills, handle everything. It's come natural for me, and I guess it helped having a grandmother that was really structured like that. So I've never procrastinated. Now, when it comes to creative stuff, I may have felt not doing it. Maybe that's like motivational, more like it. But no, procrastination, I don't know how that feels. But I know that some people struggle with it. I know my son for definitely, I mean, he's only 14, but I can see it. It's like, and that irks me. It's like, get it done. Why are you putting it? But it's not a good or bad thing. It's just who you are, how you are. You know, everything will happen when it's supposed to. But I've always been pretty organized. But I'm glad that you brought up Lennon Honor, the 3-hour video on being the ideal mate. I think that hit home when I was seeing it. I was like, wow. So I'm glad you brought that up because it's really real. It's really true when people say you got to work on yourself, and that, you know, that's good. So I'm starting to believe that more and more now. So
Yeah, that video it brought up a lot of things. It really did. I'd say that it's one of his best videos, or like best content, up to date. And uh, those out there, I definitely recommend that they should watch it. I guess the next thing I want to talk about is I guess improving upon yourself. Like people people tend to compete with others, or they think that everything is a competition. I guess, especially when it comes to improving upon yourself, setting your goals, and achieving your goals. And I think
Mm.
that that's not necessary at all. Like as long as you were a better person than you were the day before, then I think that's all that's needed. Having to compete with somebody, it doesn't make sense. I don't. It's not logical, and it just isn't healthy. I guess I believe, and I guess another thing that I would bring up about myself is computer addiction. I guess, and the first my first ever laptop that I got, I saved up and I bought it for myself. Uh, I believe it was a couple months prior to my freshman year of high school, and uh, yeah, and I guess with that, with having my own personal laptop, I began to have, I guess, I basically had access to the internet and access to computer 24/7, and from then on, given that the internet is a multitude of so many things, you can always find yourself, you can always find new things to explore, new distractions, and I guess as a result, I've built up a, I mean, I've, I've built up a computer addiction, I guess, and I guess the internet is, I believe the internet is a powerful thing, but at the same time, it is a very destructive thing because at its core, at its face, the face value of the internet, there are a lot of distractions, a lot of negative things, not necessarily helpful. I guess more so, I guess a lot of entertainment. I guess you'd say the average person would use a computer for entertainment purposes, not necessarily self improvement. And also, uh, sitting at a computer isn't necessarily good for your health or good for your eyes. So that is something that I'm striving to work on. Computer addiction, just being in nature more, being outside, and not sitting like it's extremely interesting. Let's say 10, 20 years ago, people weren't people weren't inside their homes 24/7 or for so many hours staring at a screen. Or I guess you could say the same thing about phones. When people were out and about, people weren't looking down at their phones 10, 20 years ago. And just 10, 20 years, I think it's really interesting that that could change within such a short amount of time. What are your thoughts, Nav?
Yeah, that's good. You're hitting on some great points, Kareem. Going back to the computer, I wouldn't say I'm addicted per se. What I was kind of like, I guess, slightly preoccupied with was the apps on the phone. Like, you have your Instagram, your Twitter, your Tumblr. And interesting enough, this phone, it's a new phone that I got because the other one was really acting up. And I've intentionally not downloaded any of those apps. And it's been very freeing because I'm like, I am wasting precious time that I could be reading, that I could be going out to like cafes and meet with friends and connect, which I usually do. But for the first time, it feels freeing not to have anything here. The only thing that's here is my 3 email accounts, and I keep in touch with family and friends. I'm not even doing texting that much. Like I call people now, you know, or I tell them, "Can you call me?" So, in going out in nature more. Like 2 days ago, I left my house in the afternoon, and I didn't come until close to sundown, and it felt really invigorating. It felt really good. So, I'm trying to get in touch with nature more. There's so many things that you can get from just being out at a park. Just go to a park. It doesn't have to be like an incredible hike or anything. So that's very important. And you'll feel that the more you get from nature, the more you're out and about. And my love is to just go out in nature and just read a book or have tea or meet with someone. You'll feel that you'll lose the urge to be on the phone or to be on the computer. Because to me, it drains me, energetically speaking. So I think that's great that you're thinking like that, and then I see some people are trying to get away from that. So, and welcome back, Erin.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I got a little interrupted and then my vibe got thrown off. So, but I'm back now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. In the I used to take boxing, and I guess boxing and playing basketball. Those are the two things that took me away from being on the computer, I guess. But even outside of those, I still had hours at home that I spent on the computer, and I spent hours upon hours. So, uh, and our other guest, Aaron, is back, and we were talking about I guess computer and internet addiction, like I guess phone addiction, and how a lot of society spends a lot of time on the computer, and I was mentioning how like I wanted to transcend that program, and I want to get over this addiction. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I can relate to that. I think the internet and the computer and stuff, it can be used as an escape, kind of. It's like you can use it to get away from the world that you live in and just kind of enter a whole new world where just like all this stuff is just put in front of you, and it's it's like alluring, you know. And I kind of dealt with that too because I used to be really depressed, and a lot of the time I would spend most of my days on the computer. And I mean, I learned a lot in the process, and I've gained a lot of opportunities because of the internet. But I do agree that you got to find that balance between things. I mean, I know that this is like new technology, and there's so many things out there, but we can't lose sight of, like you all said, getting back to nature. It's just finding that balance, I guess. Not being too extreme one way or the other, because there are a lot of good things that the internet has to offer, but also you can kind of indulge in it a little too much. So yeah, I agree with that. That's something I need to work on too, because with me starting this website, it's like all I want to do is just work on it, but it's not realistic for me to be sitting for hours in front of the computer. And plus, it's good to get exercise and movement and get some fresh air.
Yeah. And Kareem, if we can have Erin kind of finish before the techie world interrupted her. You talked about losing that zen, that spiritual zen, because I know a lot of people can relate to that. You want to continue with that? Because I wanted to hear it some more.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to know why I felt that way, and I realized that I had been abandoning my passions and the things that made me feel that way in the first place. And it was just like so obvious. I can't believe I didn't notice it sooner, that I gave up. Like, I was really into jewelry and sewing, and I put all that stuff aside, and I gave into like distractions. I was more focused. I guess most of it was because I didn't believe in myself. I felt like, I kind of have like an entrepreneurial spirit. So I was so busy trying to focus on things that would make me money instead of focused on things that I was passionate about. And I guess it comes down, I wasn't confident that my passions could make me money. So I'm getting back to that groove, like, okay, I want to combine my passions and my work into one. And I think that's the best way to do it. When you're starving yourself, when you're starving those things that give you life, then the life slowly starts to drain out of you. And I think that's what's happening to me. So I'm getting back on track now with all of that. That's basically all I wanted to say.
That's a mouthful. That hits home here too. So that's pretty intense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to find that balance. That's definitely important. Do you guys have any topics do you want to talk about or address?
Well, I've kind of said pretty much, news and updates and the progress, and I guess where we want to go from here. I guess the biggest progress that we all have made so far. Um, what would you guys say, like as individuals and then as a group? Because the group is younger than us individually.
Yeah, obviously.
More so, I mean, we've been together before this live recording, before we even made ourselves public to the world. We've been together since like September last year, something like that.
Longer than that, I thought.
Yeah, longer than that. So yeah, it's not that baby. But yeah, just individually, what's
I was just thinking, I think it's been like 2 years since I first started watching Lynn. I mean, I know it's been a lot longer for you, Kareem, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's been like 4 years, 5. I don't know.
yeah, it's been 2 years for me too.
wow. I think we both started watching Lynn at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, it'll
I
be
remember I came in and then slowly, like soon after that, you came in.
yeah.
Wait, so do you want us to share what our biggest
Yeah, individually, how we see ourselves progressing, and then as a group, you know, how are we feeling about it as well. So we're in the feeling mode right now. So
Oh, okay. I'll take it. Actually, that's actually one of the things that I wrote down, and that was there are days where I feel like where I feel stagnant, where I feel that I'm not growing. Like I feel that for the past couple of months, for the past couple of years, I guess I've been in college for over 2 years now, and I feel that I haven't really grown, that I haven't really improved upon myself. And when I was first coming across like all this conscious or this esoteric information, like there was a lot of information that I knew that I didn't know about. So like I definitely felt that I was growing back then, but nowadays I guess it ties in with a lot of the distractions. Like I get really pulled into distractions, and when I get off one distraction, I just jump into the next one. And I think that um like I guess lessening distractions, maybe setting aside an hour or two a day to do something to like relax, something leisure. I think that's okay, but like for distractions. But I think like for it to be the bulk of your day, or for it to be a good amount of your day, I think that's destructive, and I think that that's a key part in stagnation and for one to not improving upon themselves. What do you guys think?
Think about
I guess
distractions or
like
growth
do
or
you ever do you ever feel that you're not progressing, like uh and
yeah.
I guess what do you think is the cause of it, and what do you do to start progressing, or I guess any of you guys can go.
do you want to take it, Aaron, or
I'm thinking, I'm like,
okay? Because that that is pretty fascinating. Because 2 days ago, I was having a little what do you call it? Like, what's my purpose in life? Kind of like spiel with myself, and it's one of those things like I know it, but I don't know it. So I'm like, okay, I need some kind of sign, some kind of proof or whatever to let me know that what I'm doing and where I'm going is the right path. And then I guess there's a Teal Swan podcast, and the title was like, "What is the purpose of life?" So I'm like, okay, that is the answer right there, I guess. So in it, it was really simple, and what they mentioned was joy, and that's what Aaron was kind of talking about earlier, like finding passion, find what makes you happy, follow joy, follow love, and then you'll find your true purpose in life, what you're meant to do. And I was like, wow, okay, so that kind of made sense to me. It kind of opened up, a part of my brain that was shut down. And for me, it's always been in inspiring and motivating people, and doing that through the arts. And I feel like I'm going on the right path just from getting that answer, just from really rewinding back and seeing where I've come from and what I've done. It's following joy and love. But what brings you joy? To me, what brings me joy is inspiring, being and create and be their best version. So, and there's many ways you can do that. So that puts me in a position where I'm going to be constantly moving. I'm never going to stop and be like, okay, so what is it now? What is my purpose? Because that just opened up amazing synapses and firewalls and all that stuff. So that's what I think about that. So,
Aaron, do you want to chime in?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I hear Till Scott say that a lot too, like follow your joy every second, just follow your joy. And I've actually had to replay that in my mind sometimes, and it helps to think of that. Like, okay, like I'm feeling kind of lost right now. What do I feel passionate about? What will make me happy right now? I think it's just about finding your passions and just going after them. And I think that's pretty much the core of it. I mean, yeah, sometimes I feel stagnant, like I haven't made any progress, or sometimes I feel kind of lost. And then I just know that that's my chance to look for signs, like you said, look for the signs around me, kind of go inside of myself, reflect on things, sometimes just take a break, start breathing deeply and just reflecting on things. Sometimes it helps if I write things down, like, okay, what do I want out of my life? What do I feel like my goals are? Or what can I accomplish within the next month? And that helps me a lot. And sometimes just trying new things, getting out of my comfort zone, things like that, they all help me when I'm feeling that way. Yes,
I just wanted, when you were saying that, writing stuff down, have either of you done a vision board?
No, but I want to.
I haven't. And when you said that, I was like, I need to do a vision board because I'm a vision.
That needs to be our project.
What is a vision board? I've never heard of it.
Oh, tell them about it, Aaron.
Oh, a vision board? It's like where you, it's kind of like a visualization technique where I've seen a lot of people take like a poster board and cut out pictures from like magazines or whatever that represents what they want out of life. Like if they desire to manifest something, they'll have like a picture of it on their vision board to kind of help with like the visualization aspect of manifesting. Just to kind of have that reminder there, like a visual reminder of what it is that you want or you desire.
Okay, I see. I think my sister has one of that, so cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that. That should be our project. Like within the next month. Like start and complete a vision board for all of it.
I like that idea. That way we can share it with the world. We have some accountability.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do one. I don't know why I haven't.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get a board this weekend and start doing it because it worked. I got that from the video The Secret, but I had known it before seeing the video The Secret, and I was like, I need to do that. So yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah.
I wish we could all work on it together, but whatever.
we can track, we can kind of, day by day, because it changes, but we can show how far. It'll be neat to kind of actually see it, and I do believe it comes true. See it, it's like you're putting out that energy on all that you want to manifest, and it really works. I'm starting to believe more of that, because if it's a reminder, you're never out of track. It's always there. And they say to put it in a place where you'll see it every day. So it's a constant reminder, hey, this is what you want. This is what you have to do. I think it's fascinating. Something so simple but powerful. So, yeah. Yay, that's our project then. You'll love it, Kareem, and it'll take you away from the computer for some time because you'll have to, be creative and stuff. So, yay! Oh yeah, that's awesome. So, any
Yeah,
any
I have
okay.
something that's really been on my mind these past couple of weeks, I guess. We're making videos, and I've had many video ideas come to me, and like I now have the equipment to record videos, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be doing them. And let me just share a couple.
Huh?
Um, well, these are. Let me first share ones that I've had in the past, and I guess one of them is on anime and touches upon the like how anime perpetuates perversion and pedophilia, and the other one is how video games and the addiction. I guess MMORPGs, or what people would call like video games that you play online, and how uh, like how it's designed to keep you addicted, how it's designed to keep you playing for months, for weeks, to years, and recent video ideas that I've had were I guess insecurities and society. I guess like how to it's actually really simple how to how to get rid of insecurities. And I wrote down some stuff. I said that like it is counterintuitive to place your attention on things that glamorize those things that you aren't, and certainly can't change for yourselves. And for for example, I put like women feeling insecure about their bodies and how they look comes from many different things, like their parents, siblings, peer groups. But what I want to really focus on was media, and like if media glamorizes a certain standard of beauty that a woman doesn't have, then if she watches it, she's gonna feel as if she's not attractive, and that she wants to become that standard of beauty. And then I wrote down "The Mind is a Powerful Thing," ladies and gentlemen, a Lennon honor reference, and then I also mentioned social media. And within social media, people paint a reality that, well, they paint a reality that isn't necessarily true, or like they make it seem like their life is more interesting than it really is. And whether that's true or not, when people that aren't really doing anything with their lives, or people that aren't doing, like, going on adventures, or maybe don't have material wealth, they see these things, and they can feel like different emotions. They can feel either joy and happiness, or they can feel jealousy and anger. And like I guess it causes them to look at themselves. It causes them to question their reality, and to like it makes them take a critical look at themselves. And if they realize that they haven't really done anything with their lives, it makes them depressed. And let's see.
And these are all in video formats, Kareem. These ideas.
What was that?
These are like in video formats that you're creating.
Well, we're recording with audio, but I can I'm gonna put it on. It's gonna be in a video format at that.
Oh,
It's a finished
nice. Okay.
product. And for me to, I'm gonna continue. I guess I also said purifying your media stream, which is a term that I got from Lennon Honor. It's actually very powerful. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Television shows, movies, music, magazines, all of these things have a strong impact on our psyche, whether we want to
Yeah.
believe it or not. And if you listen to music that refer to women as bitches and hoes, on some level, you will start to view and think of women as such a manner, even though people don't want to believe these things. And I guess also mentioned material things, and that there's nothing wrong with wanting material things, but when you want material things through manipulation or because of something outside of yourself, then I think that's problematic. And I think an example that I put down was, I guess, seeing like a car commercial on TV and seeing that the people on the commercial they're happy and because they have that car. But I don't think that it's gonna material wealth. Well, it can, but I guess in this aspect, it doesn't create happiness, and I can say that for myself after like when I first came across all this information, and I just completely removed myself from watching television, movies, uh, and listening to certain music, all these programmings that I've had, all these thoughts, all these insecurities about the way I looked, the thoughts that I had, they just vanished. And I think that I've even heard of Lennon Arnold say this, that these programs they need a you need to constantly be reprogrammed,
Mm-hmm.
and if you aren't, then they're just gonna go away. So you can't. That's why I guess there are so many commercials and stuff. I guess you constantly need to be programmed to constantly. These things constantly need to enter your mind. I guess to have an effect. And I think
Yeah.
that just um, just like staying away from it, it's gonna change a lot of things. And
Wow, I'm impressed. Kareem needs his
and
own show.
my last my
Yeah, I had
last
a
video
question.
idea is
Hold on, Aaron had a question, Kareem.
oh yeah, what is your question?
What's your major?
My major is business. Okay, and my last video idea is was basically like a news rant, and I wrote down what do you value more, peace and positivity within your life, or being quote unquote informed about what's going on in the world.
Mm.
And I also asked the question, why is it that the news informs us of mostly death and destruction? Why is it that good things that happen in the world, it seems like it's a 1-to-9 ratio when it comes to the news, and uh, I think that holds a lot of truth. Like a lot of people, they say that you have to watch the news to be informed, but a lot of it is just death and destruction, and uh, it really has a powerful effect on the psyche, and I think that um, it can affect all different areas of your life, from fear to I guess fear, like just fear of doing things, fear of going outside of your circle, fear of like opening that box and just climbing out of that box, not placing yourself within a box, and that's about it. Would you
Wow,
guys like to chime in on anything?
that's that's an incredible project, Kareem, because I think you can touch a lot of the young viewers, especially the male viewers. So I think you may have impacted, you know, any viewers who are listening. That's a good thing. Stick to it, because you seem to really be comfortable in talking about it and knowing about it, putting your own twist on it. So I like it.
I've been talking a lot. Do you guys have anything
No,
you guys
that's
want to
good
share?
because you,
Yeah, I would just have to agree with you. I feel like sometimes it's just a war for people's minds. Like who can occupy people's minds the most and get them to buy the most of their products. It's just like people are just like nothing. They're just consumers, and that's really all that matters. That's how I feel sometimes. It's kind of depressing, but
I have a question to both of you. I guess staying away from television, like certain magazines and TV shows, movies, etc. Do you think that certain insecurities about you that you've had about yourself in the past, do you think it's diminished from like staying away from these things?
yeah, somewhat.
Will you expound upon that?
Um, yeah, I think I was really heavily brainwashed by the media and the image of women. And like before, I remember I was so attached to like my physical appearance, and I was so attached to my hair. I always had to have like my makeup right, and I always had to be wearing the clothes that everyone else was wearing. And I've really let go of a lot of that. Like I was telling Nav not too long ago, I shaved my head, and I never would have been able to do that. Like when I was in high school, I was so worried about being accepted and fitting into this image. So yeah, definitely, I've moved away from it, especially when I realized that there's more outside of that. Like that's not the standard. That's somebody's idea of what beauty is, but that's not the standard of what everyone has to follow, or that's not even the definition of what beauty is. So yeah, I think it's definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah, I would agree with Erin. I don't personally have TV or anything like that. And yeah, the thing that would drive me bananas were those magazines. When you go grocery shopping, they're over there, and you actually think those women look like that. That tripped me up for a minute. But then when I got to researching and reading and getting some information, it's like, no, those are all photoshopped.
Yeah, very
So
heavily photoshopped.
yes, and so I've never had body issues, um, per se, like on my own. But then when you see the woman's in the movies or in the magazine, it's like you start to question. It's like, okay, are my arms too big? Like, are my legs too short? It really trips you out. Whoever says it doesn't affect him, a woman, is lying, because to some, they take it to a degree. They take it, really intense. But I had great, sisterhoods, friends, that kind of reminded me, like, hey, you have your own unique look. I mean, I didn't get to the point where I was depressed or anything like that. It's just like, gosh, do they really look like that? So, but yeah, it definitely, like Erin said, once you just get away from the TV, the magazines, just anything that doesn't help you grow into your unique self, you start to not really care about it. Now when I see magazines or stuff, and I'm like, wow, it's a good Photoshop work, it's like you start to compliment, the creativity behind it, and not
Yeah, I
just
feel bad for the people now.
yeah, yeah, because everybody knows that you don't really look like that. There was actually a thread on Facebook about women without makeup and how they look with and without. It was dramatic. I was like, wow. So it's real. And another thing that I want to bring up that I think is so impactful that I think we should talk about in another session is the idea of those women who they can't really leave the house without makeup. I've seen women even at the gym with a face full of makeup. Like that goes deep, and I was talking to a male friend of mine. It's like that's something that he wasn't really aware of, but there's some women who really deal with that on a deeper level. Like if you cannot possibly go a second without makeup, like everything you do has to, even go to sleep with makeup. I mean, it really is. And I just think that the media, they're doing their job, they're accomplishing something, and it's up to the individual to truly start loving them for who they are, So yeah. So
Okay. One last topic that I just thought of that I want to bring up was a good friend of ours, Lennon Honor. He recently made a video called "Who is Your Role Model?" and
mhm.
I left a comment under that video. I said that I guess when I was my junior year in high school, one of our assignments were to we were to write a letter to our role models, and I wrote mine to Lennon Honor, but the
Aw.
majority of the students they wrote letters to celebrities or athletes, and
Mhm.
like I believe that celebrities and athletes they don't really have qualities that of role models that we should look up to. Like we don't really know them on a personal level. We just know what media uh, tells us about them, and I think that especially celebrities or like musicians, um, even though they may do like charity work, the the bulk of their music and their content, it it's more destructive to the psyche of millions upon millions. Like it does more harm than good. And I just want to ask, like, have you guys had role models? And do you, like how do you think that has affected you? Have you ever looked up to certain celebrities or maybe tried to mimic certain people that maybe they didn't have necessarily positive qualities?
I don't think it was ever one specific person for me, but it was mostly like all the female top singers, like Beyonce, and I used to look up to them, try to copy their style, and I kind of felt like they set the standard of beauty, and if I didn't look like them, then I wasn't living up to it. So yeah, it was never one specific person for me, but I've definitely done that myself, looked up to like celebrities and things like that.
For me, it was Madonna, but not. And it's funny because it was, and she still is to a certain extent, not to the extent when I was a child, when I didn't know any better, but I liked her because she was bold, she was fearless, she spoke her mind, and those I looked for at the qualities that she brought forth, whether there was an act or not. I didn't really per se looked up to her in everything that she did because she's in the entertainment business. People in the entertainment business, they're not to be looked as role model because that's not what they're there for. So when I did look up to celebrities, I would pick those that had qualities that were like in me, but I was too like shy or unsure or embarrassed to have. And I still to this day admire those qualities of her, that she spoke her mind however she felt, and she was free. She was who she was, and nobody could, say any. I mean, there was nothing that she kept hidden. I mean, she was really out there, and that's who as a celebrity, really looked up to. Plus, she was a great dancer and blah blah blah. But yeah, that's as a celebrity, yeah. But now it's like you get to a point where you really start to know yourself, and you have people, like Aaron said, you have different people that kind of, inspire you. I like to kind of think of it as inspiration, and anyone that I talk to, I say that, I guess to start off with, my grandmother was one, but now more than anything, it's my teenage son. So you learn a lot from your own child, whether you like it or not. So that's my spiel on role model, and it's sad that some really, really look up to celebrities for that.
Yeah, what's even sadder now is that you talked about Madonna and like the positive qualities that she offers, but when you look at the newer people who are like in the forefront, they don't really have anybody like that anymore. Mm-mm. It's just like Nicki Minaj, and those are the worst people to look up to. Like, I can't think of anybody with like positive traits out there that like would be like, okay, that's a decent role model to have. But I can't think of anybody like that. Yeah. Because I think Donna was kind of like before my time a little bit, but after that, it's just kind of like, who else is there?
Yeah, really. If you really think about it, and if you, it's funny you say that because even people with, like Sade, we don't see Sade in the news. That's one that comes to mind because she knows who she is. She's never done a duet, never collaborated with any other artist. She loves her artwork. Like, she's like, this is me. And I just found that like fascinating about her. So, yeah, you gotta look at those too.
Yeah, I can honestly say now I don't think I have a role model.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm just becoming my own person. I mean, there's traits that I admire in people, but as far as like modeling after somebody, I don't feel like there's anybody out there that lives up to that for me.
So you're more of a leader.
Yeah, maybe a leader.
So.
How about you, Kareem?
Not that you're not, Kareem.
Oh, I wouldn't say that I have any role models, but I think I definitely look up to Lenin, and I guess I look up to him as a father figure on some level, and I guess his qualities as a man and as a father and a husband. I look up to those things, and I strive to get there someday. So, and I think it's interesting that you said that. Like, I guess you could, even though a role model could have good and bad qualities, you take the good from them,
Hmm.
and I found that to be very interesting. So.
Yeah, because Madonna was wild.
Um,
It was nobody like her. So I was, even at the young age, I was like, I like this about her. I like that about her. I don't know about this, you know? And then you just mesh it and kind of mold it into you, you know? So, yeah.
Okay, do you guys have any final words?
This has been really, like, more than expected. I like this. It's like we're a catalyst for like each other to expand. So I've just enjoyed it. I have no further thoughts.
How about you, Aaron? Do you have any final words?
Um, yeah, because I could go on forever, but I think we've covered a good amount, so I have to agree.
Okay, cool. I am Kareem, and tonight I was accompanied by Inav and Aaron, and we are Discovery of Self. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Peace and love.